Hi. Okay, we're gonna learn the D Bebop scale cage system. How each pattern connect to each other. Okay, let's play the first pattern. I'm gonna make it display note. Now let's display the second pattern. And let it play the third pattern. Let it play the fourth pattern. And let us play the fifth pattern. Okay. The first pattern or the open position, the top fretboard, it neighbor or adjacent pattern in number 2. So 1 and 2, they are neighbor. Okay, they share some common note. You see on the 3rd fret of pattern number 1, this note are identical with pattern number 2 on the 3rd fret. Also on the 4th fret of pattern number 1, it carry over on number 2 to form number 2. So they share common note. That's how they can connect. And the most important note there is the roots. The D on 2nd string 3rd fret, so all the notes from the 3rd fret and the 4th fret of pattern number 1 are carry over to build pattern number 2. It doesn't matter what pattern, you need to follow the bebop scale formula. So you need to remember where the root is and what string it on, what fret it on. From one pattern you can go to the next pattern, its neighbor right next to it, and play in a higher octave, higher pitch. So when you carry the note on the 3rd and 4th fret of pattern number 1 over to pattern number 2, you start with the G on 6th string 3rd fret, use the index finger, and you move up the scale. You're gonna see another root on the 5th string 5th fret. Walking up the scale the main scale in red, you will come to another root on second string third fret. Walk up the scale until you go to the B on first string 7th fret. So you see this pattern number 1 and pattern number 2, it share the G, the A, the G, the C, the D, the G on 3rd fret, and it share the C sharp and F sharp on the 4th fret. That's how they connect. If you jump from pattern number 1 and you jump straight to pattern number 3, it sounds pretty rough, it's not smooth. But when you moving from pattern number 1 to pattern number 2, it sounds really smooth. It's neighbor, you know. Alright, now, so pattern number 1 has a neighbor, is pattern number 2. Okay, pattern number 2 is have a neighbor lower than it is pattern number 1, and it also have another neighbor, it's number 3, which are higher octave. We use the same technique. Pattern number 2 share some common note with pattern number 3, and these notes are on the 5th fret, the 6th fret, and the 7th of pattern number 2. This note carry over to form pattern number 3. Can you see the identical note for both pattern 2 and 3 on fret 5, 6, and 7? Okay, so pattern number 3 start with the A, use the index finger on 6th string 5th fret, walk up the scale. You will see the root on 5th fret, 5th string. This root is the same location as pattern number 2. Look at it. Now you walk up the scale, you will reach to another root or tonic note on 3rd string 7th fret. Walk up the scale until you play the note on 9th fret, the C sharp. You see this pattern number 3 use the index finger to play the root on 5th string 5th fret, and it use the ring finger to play the root on 3rd string 7th fret. Trying to remember the root, what finger we use. You can start walk up the scale and figure out the scale. Okay. Now we go down to pattern number 4. Pattern number 4, it have a neighbor lower than it is pattern number 3, and it also have a neighbor higher than it. It is number 5, pattern number 5. Pattern number 4 share some common note with pattern number 3. Look at fret 7, 8, and 9 of pattern number 3. These notes are carried over to build pattern number 4. They share, that's why they call it, they share with its neighbor. Okay, So pattern number 4 start with the index finger. You walk up the scale. You will play the root on 6th string, 10th fret. This time you use the pinky. Let me turn fingering so you can see. You use the pinky for the root. The root on 3rd string, 7th fret. Let me turn on finger, and it uses the index finger to play the root. Go back to note. From there, when you walk up the scale, you will come to another root on 1st string, 10th fret, and it using the pinky to play the root. Pattern number 4. Shares some common note with pattern number 5. Look at the 10th fret, the 9th fret, the 10 and the 11 of pattern number 4. This note are carried over to build pattern number 5. You see the identical. Okay, so pattern number 5 start with the C sharp on 6th string, 9th fret. You walk up the scale. You see a root, the D on 6th string, 10th fret, and it uses the middle finger number 2 to play the root. You walk up the scale, you will see another root on 4th string, 12th fret, and it uses the pinky to play that root. You walk up the scale, you will reach to another root on 1st string, 10th fret, and it uses the index finger, the D. The middle finger to play the root. So this is how we study how the cage system connect the 5 pattern. You master each pattern in sequence as you train yourself. When you get really good, you can play them in random. You can play a few notes on pattern number 1 and slide over to pattern number 2 to finish them. You can spread your note all over 5 pattern, and you jump from neighbor to neighbor. Don't jump from 1 to 4 or from 1 to 5th. Jump from 1 to 2, or 2 back to 1, or 2 to 3, 3 to 4, or 4 to 3, or 4 to 5, and it sounds real smooth. Experiment, play with it, randomly play, put your feeling, put bend, hammer on, hammer off, bend the note, vibrating the note, hammer on, hammer off. Put your feeling in there, your mood in there, and play. Experiment. You will come up with a solo, a lick. I hope this lesson helped you. Thanks for watching. See you next lesson.